Alrighty guys, what is going up? Welcome back to the best investing channel on YouTube. I am your host Carter, and in today's video we are looking at the most undervalued vegan food stock. Now, the whole vegan sector over the past couple of years has absolutely exploded. We've seen companies like Beyond Meat just really take over the market. But there is a stock called Tattooed Chef that is up and coming and honestly has phenomenal numbers. Okay, so for me, a couple things that I look at that is super important is increasing revenue, profitability, the overall cash compared to long-term debt, the price to earnings, and the overall market cap. Now, if you have solid numbers, the stock will overall just continue to grow. And the thing that I like right now about Tattooed Chef is the price to earnings is right at around 11.5, which is really solid. The reason why I say that is because anytime you have a lower price to earnings for a growth stock, the long-term outlook is really strong. You know, Tesla has a price to earnings at like over 1,200, which is crazy. And this is at 11.5. So you guys can see the comparison here. Now, another thing that's super strong is the overall balance sheet. So right now, Tattooed Chef does have around 185 million in cash, right? So you might be saying, well, Carter, if they have a lot of long-term debt, that's not good. Well, here's the thing. They only have $2 million in debt, okay? So if they ever need to pay that money and pay that debt off, they can easily do it. They have over $185 million in debt of cash. I'm sorry, $185 million in cash, which is fantastic. So they can more than pay that off. And if they ever go through a rough time, they can continue to use that cash to overall continue to grow the company. So what does Tattooed Chef do? Like, what do they sell? Well, they sell frozen plant-based food products, right? Very similar to the overall, pretty much the dominator in the market is Beyond Meat. But Beyond Meat has way higher price to earnings, and they have way more long-term debt and not as much cash on hand compared to the long-term debt. Not to mention, Tattooed Chef grew their revenue by 59%, right? And they're expected to grow this year 60%, okay, which is absolutely fantastic. And you might be saying, well, Carter, this is the best stock to buy. This is the one I'm going to go heavily in. This is just the start of me making millions. Well, here's the thing. There's really three main things you need to realize, okay? Right now, Tattooed Chef is not 100% profitable. But here's the thing. It's very common to see these smaller growth stocks and smaller companies not be profitable just yet. Now, the thing about it is super common. You know, we have multiple stocks out there that are still not profitable and have way higher valuations, such as Pinterest, Snapchat. Tesla just became profitable about 2 years ago. So, you know, it's not that big of a deal for that. You just want them to overall keep working on it, which they are doing. And they are expected to break even next year, which is good because then, you know, if you have a 2 to 5 year outlook, you know, they're profitable, right? Another thing is they have quite a bit of competition in that overall sector. You know, they have that huge dominator is Beyond Meat, but they still have that front advantage because they do sell and they're still one of the first companies to get in on the overall, you know, idea of plant-based, which is cool. Okay. Now, another thing, and the third and final thing, right, is it's possible that the overall vegan trend could not last, right? So the super long outlook on it is pretty risky, right? But it all depends on your mindset. And for me, I think that there is so much momentum in that sector right now. I think that looking back, you know, in the next 10 years, we're going to wish we bought companies like Beyond Meat, Tattooed Chef, all of these companies. The reason why is because of the growth. You know, people are realizing that it's healthier, it's more humane, and all that other stuff to have all of this, you know, plant-based meets. So I think that's really, really cool here. Not to mention this stock, looking on the technical side, was trading for at highs here at 28. It sold off and did find some support right near that $15 mark, which for me, that's probably the hardest support that this stock has, right? It comes in contact, 3 times, we get buying pressure. Now that we broke out of this resistance, right, I think we'll see some buying pressure coming in, possibly see this stock hit this next resistance at 22, right? So we broke out of this resistance. Now this resistance right in here at 20 is going to act as support. We're going to get more buying pressure and see the $22 mark, right? I think that's what we have. But the thing about Tattooed Chef is, yes, it's a growth stock. So the risk level is pretty high. You have to realize that. So maybe have a base of some blue chip stocks, ETFs, bonds, all that stuff will definitely help the volatility with the stock so your portfolio doesn't swing. But honestly, I'm a huge bull on this stock. I think that this is really, really promising. It's under $50 and the growth is phenomenal. And I'm really, really excited to see what happens with this. For me, if you're going to swing trade it, I'd set my stops at 18, risk $2 and let this thing go. Have a couple month outlook, because this thing could easily start squeezing up to like 24, 26 within the next couple of months. Just look at the volatility. This thing goes up and down. So if you get in, you hold it for a couple months, hop out, all that stuff is good for the swing trading. But for me, I am a more long-term investor, so that's what I'm going to be doing with this stock. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and overall, I hope you guys got something of value, and we will see you guys later, and take care, everyone.